All right, here we are for game 2, well, match 2, and we are on the draw. This is an interesting hand because we have Noble Hierarch. We are on the draw. We only have one forest. We have 21 lands in our deck, most of which, 12 of which are fetch lands. So we actually have a pretty good chance, if we do keep this hand, given that we have Noble Hierarch, of actually being able to cast a lot of the spells in our hand. If we draw any fetch land, we could get. I believe we can get black with any fetch, so we can actually cast Noble Hierarch into Anafenza, and even if we just draw any random land, we can cast the Loxodon Smiter as well. So I actually think I'm going to keep this hand. It's definitely, this is definitely something of a gamble. But even if we don't draw a land immediately, we have the ability to play Hierarch and then potentially Pride Mage or Nicodle, so I'm going to go ahead and keep. We have 21 land, and we have 2 draws before we're going to potentially miss a land drop because we're on the draw. Flooded Strand, all right. So is this likely, oh, Hallowed Fountain, all right. Serum Visions, some sort of blue-white control deck, perhaps? All right, well, Siege Rhino was not what we wanted to draw, perhaps the last thing we wanted to draw, but we have a Hierarch now at least. So, blue, white, red. All right, please don't kill my Hierarch. Kill my Hierarch, I'm very sad. It looks like Hierarch may in fact die. Oh dear, all right. And we have a Wild Nicodle. We really could use one of those lands now. Is it Charm? All right. Okay, well, here we go. So now I want to get Arid Mesa, I guess, into... we want a white-red land. Do you want a Sacred Foundry? Allows us to cast Pride Mage. We could get white-black. White-black may be better, because yeah, I think Godless Shrine is better because if we draw any land that allows us to cast, white-red doesn't give us any. We have to draw specifically a. Yeah, I think white-black allows us to cast Pride Mage and potentially Smiter. It doesn't allow us to cast Lightning Helix just yet, but I think that we would rather be able to cast Anafenza or the Rhino than the Helix, and we have tons of lands we can possibly get to be able to cast Helix. I'd rather be able to cast the proactive stuff here. All right, well, I'm just going to attack. I'm just going to cast a Smiter this turn. And our opponent's taking a lot of damage. So I am going to get... We want to get something that has red and white, I think, right? Red and black is also okay. Yeah, red, black. Blood Crypt lets us cast any of our cards with any of our lands, right? If we have white, black, red. If we get Sacred Foundry, we have... I guess we'd rather have multiple sources of white than of red or of black, because black is more of a splash, so I guess Sacred Foundry is better. So complicated. See, I think we just want Sacred Foundry. And we can cast a Smiter this turn, and then we have, black, white, green. Okay, Sacred Foundry. Yes, Smiter. White, green, this. So yeah, figuring out the right land is often the among the most difficult things you need to... Oh, okay, so our opponent is Thought Scouring, 2 digs, so maybe our opponent has another dig. Casting it, yeah, it looks like, all right, digging. Well, so some sort of control deck, clearly, a dig deck. Gone through two digs. So that's actually reasonable for us. I don't know if this deck has, I don't know what the concept of my opponent's deck are. I don't know if my opponent is playing a Supreme Verdict deck, in which case, I don't want to actually commit any more to the board. I do have a really impressive board presence right now, so it's not clear that I necessarily need to. I also do have Siege Rhino and a Helix that can get some extra damage in to close the game out. All right, so opponent digs. Are we getting Wrathed here? Are we getting Cryptic here, perhaps? Oh, game. All right, well, we're just gonna attack. Certainly no reason to do anything before attacking. I'm guessing we may get, okay, bolted. All right. And, all right, well, and we will continue to show why Loxodon Smiter is so great as we play this into what I'm certain is like Remand or Mana Leak from our opponent. Get smited. Oh, playing something. There's some sort of Snapcaster. Is it Charm? All right. Oh dear. Oh, our opponent is not what I thought our opponent was. This is actually, is this a combo deck? Oh dear. Maybe we're dead. This is apparently a Jeskai Ascendancy deck or something. What's going on? I don't know what's about to happen to me. Oh, is this Kiki Jiki? There's Ascendancy. All right. We may be dead. Okay, that was not what I was expecting. I guess I hadn't. This is one of the things when you are not necessarily as familiar with the format as you could be, that can definitely get you. You know, I hadn't pieced these things together as being possibly the Jeskai Ascendancy combo deck, and it apparently is. So it seems that we are almost certainly dead now. So if I had known that, I may have played this differently. I may have, like, you know, not played the Smiter here and potentially saved mana for Lightning Helix. Or I potentially would have just cast Anafenza, though I guess Anafenza would have just gotten remanded, most likely. But I mean, given the fact that I literally was stalled in one land for a number of turns here, my opponent never missed anything. Like, this game was, you know, actually still reasonably close. So I assume that I'm just dead, but I'm gonna let my opponent, figure it out and prove it. Do. Okay, now I'm dead. Here comes a spell. Somehow you're gonna run out of spells, right? You're gonna run out? Huh? Oh, no, you're not. Okay. Now you win. Okay, so sideboard-wise, what do I want in this matchup? Grafdigger's Cage seems pretty powerful because it stops Fate Stitcher. Slaughter Game seems pretty powerful because it can take Ascendancy out of my opponent's deck. Choke is obviously pretty powerful. Revelry, not clear. Revelry could be good. Obviously can kill the Ascendancy, which is valuable. So Siege Rhino seems okay, but not amazing here, because it does cost 4 mana. Similarly, Anafenza actually fairly great because it stops Fate Stitcher from coming into play. So if I'm going to remove creature, it's going to be, I think, Siege Rhino. I can see taking out Helixes or Paths. I think like Bolt kills the Fate Stitcher. Path seems like it's probably pretty weak, just because yeah, you can stop Fate Stitcher, but you can get Fate Stitcher with it. But it seems like having bolts and helixes that can end the game by targeting my opponent is more valuable than that. I don't want to have a bunch of just reactive cards in my deck, so I feel like taking out the paths is probably the best option. And I think I'm just going to take out 1 Siege Rhino because it is expensive. It's still valuable, at actually allowing me to close out games. And if I had more tools, I might take out more copies of Siege Rhino for that reason, because it is an expensive card that I don't necessarily want to be gumming up my hand. But this seems like a pretty good setup to play this matchup, so that's what I'm going to do. Now that I know what my opponent's doing, I have obviously better ability to make choices here. This hand seems pretty bad. We do have Choke and Slaughter Games, which is actually kind of attractive. We don't have any pressure, but we could choke or put it. I'm going to keep this actually. This is we're gonna test how good my hate cards are here. That's what's going on. Slaughter Games may just win the game on the spot. I don't know how the Ascendancy deck wins without Ascendancy. I suppose it's possible with burn spells and Conclave, but it seems very unlikely. And this is a hand that is obviously pretty mediocre. I have no actual threats in it. I'm going to go ahead and play a fetch land, not Blood Crypt here, because I do want to get a land that can potentially cast a Pride Mage on turn 2 if I draw one, and Blood Crypt cannot do that. So I'm going to go ahead and just play the Temple Garden tapped as they go. Alright, well there is a Conclave, so right on time, Noble Hierarch. And we will just play this Blood Crypt tapped. And I have Slaughter Games next turn. Alright, looks like we don't. Looks like Hierarch is going to die. Sadly, I didn't get to play Hierarch on turn 1 and then get to choke on turn 2. That would have been pretty powerful. We still get to choke our opponent next turn, though. Choke does seem like it's probably pretty difficult for them to beat. I don't know what cards the Jeskai Ascendancy deck has in sideboard, but I imagine it's unlikely to have. We're drawing all the hate cards and nothing else right now. So we want to get we have white, black, so green, anything. Just get green, red. We don't really need a second red for anything. I guess we could just get basic forest here, right? We have white, black. We're going to need another red source or black source to be able to actually cast the Slaughter Games, so I guess we'll just get Stomping Ground here. And cast Choke. Feels like it's going to be hard for my opponent to win from this position, especially when I cast Slaughter Games next turn, but Young Pyromancer. All right, we have a Lightning Bolt for that. So that is a possible way to win through Slaughter Games. We're going to kill that right away. I guess I'm just going to play a Grafdigger's Cage and say go. Is it when I want like white black here? We have 2 red sources, sure. %, hate. This will also just give me information about A, my opponent's hand, and B, how my opponent sideboarded, which has a lot of value even outside of, you know, being able to neuter my opponent's ability to actually combo. Okay, Jeskai Ascendancy. So he has Stitcher, Stitcher, Dig, Path, and Hand. Let's look at the deck. So there's basically, you can only win with Conclave. What is this? He's a Wear Tear. Timely Reinforcements. Okay, that's worth keeping in mind. So there's Timely Reinforcements and Pyromancer and Fate Stitcher and Conclave. Yeah, Conclave, Timely Reinforcements, Pyromancer that can potentially win the game from this point, basically. Our opponent has bolts, 3 paths in the deck. 3 paths, 3 bolts, 4 Izzet Charms. Looks like 3 Fate Stitchers, and then a bunch of manipulation. So, and opponent's hand is Path, Fate Stitcher, Dig. Okay. This seems like going to be a hard game for my opponent to win, especially with the choke in play. We will play Nakatl and say go. I guess I could play my Windswept Heath, but I guess I probably do want to actually, you know, thin some of the land out of my deck. The Young Pyromancer Cyber plan out of the Jeskai Ascendancy deck makes a lot of sense in terms of, alright. I guess I'm just going to attack. I imagine there's a good chance this gets pathed, but yeah, then we get to play Anafenza. We're going to go get, doesn't really matter. Black, white, green. Oh, beginning combat step. Okay. I wish combat, like, you didn't go through the steps of combat when there's no creatures. So Fate Stitcher, Dig still. He can dig, assuming it's a blue source with this. Alright, so we sack this. Gonna go get whatever. Doesn't really matter here. I guess I just want another red source, because most likely thing I'm gonna want to cast multiples in a turn is like Burn. And Helix. Alright, so Anafenza coming in. That gets pathed as well. We will go get another land. Say go. Getting another Sacred Foundry. Oh, getting an island, okay. Gonna dig, sure. Just gonna look for Fairy Conclaves to try and win the game with. Just play out Fate Stitchers and start giving beatdowns. This is a very odd game. I've drawn both a lot of hate cards and a lot of land and very few threats. well, there's a second conclave. And there's a third bolt. Alright, well, conclave is not going to kill me. That much we know for sure. Lots of burn here. Wild Nicodle. Alright. So every path. Alright, well, there's all my basic land. Ah! Well, I hope I don't draw a mountain. I don't know, I just apparently clicked through that. I didn't even see how I clicked it, but sure. Well, yeah, I'm gonna draw like basic mountain now. Ooh, Seachrome Coast. Alright, well now you have blue sources. If I draw a mountain, I'm gonna be so annoyed. Oh, Kurt Ape. You're a card. Another dig. Alright. Given that I've drawn all burn spells and land, maybe this somehow becomes a competitive game despite StarCityGames' choke. Got there how many digs? It's 2 digs or 3 digs? It's 2 digs. Okay. Alright. There is one Wear Tear in my opponent's deck, which would be kind of awkward against this choke and Grafdigger's Cage. You can actually kill both of them. Very rude. We shouldn't have to have the chat window open to see the opponent, whether they like bottomed or topped or whatever. Oh, my guy's dying. Okay, he's dead. Stop removing my creatures. Stop drawing land. I'm just going to use this now. If I draw that mountain, that should be pathed into play, I swear. Alright, Fate Stitcher. Go and beat down. I'm gonna kill this, I guess. I mean, I could just like save up my burn and try and kill my opponent, but this actually stops any of my creatures, is the really awkward thing. I guess I'm gonna untap first. No. 'Cause like I have 9 burn, my opponent is at 13. So this doesn't really do very much right now. I guess you could start attacking with this. I don't know, we'll just draw a card. There's very little reason not to like, at least draw my card. And it's a land. Okay. I mean, I have to draw, I only have what? 1, 2, 3. I have 4 more burn spells and rhinos in my deck. 3 rhinos, and I have to draw 2 of them for it to be lethal. Well, we're gonna make it so that his timely reinforcements certainly won't work. That's actually a reason to like cast Lightning Bolt rather than Lightning Helix if I do want to kill this. I'm just gonna let it hit me for right now. Maybe we drop more burn. Kurt Ape. Alright. We're gonna kill these. And I'm gonna use bolts rather than Helix because I don't want Timely to draw him any to get him any life. This game is so awkward. We've drawn 4 creatures of like 25. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 land of 22. Fairy Conclave coming for me. There's Timely. Alright, we'll get some 3 guys, but no life. Wait, how do you gain life? Did he have life? Oh, he sacked a land. Curses. This game is... Alright, Lightning Helix. Sure. Just what I was looking for. Oh, this game is funny. Another dig. Dear God. Alright. Well, I mean, I guess this can go this way. We're just gonna die to soldiers? Is this what's gonna happen to us? We're just gonna like bolt this. Yep, there's a bolt. All right. I'm guessing a Conclave's coming in now, yeah. We're gonna Lightning Helix a Conclave. Can I just draw a real creature? Like, perhaps a Siege Rhino. I guess I took one out, so maybe I'm getting what I deserve. Kurt Ape, alright. The Stopper. This game is so absurd. I'm gonna get to the point that I draw the mountain. I can tell. I have a feeling that I'm just gonna draw the mountain. He's attacking. He's gonna Is It Charm my Kurt Ape. This is happening. This Kurt Ape is going down to Is It Charm after damage. I just know. Yep. Come on. I guess, like, I don't even know. This is ridiculous. This is this is Treasure Cruise? Oh my God. All right. Well. Wild Nicodle. Oh man. The perfect draw. I mean, I did sort of set myself up for this, for keeping a hand that had, like, you know, hate cards and no creatures, but the way that this has played out since then, you know, is pretty absurd. Hasn't he used all his bolts? 1, 2... There's 1 lightning bolt left. Here's the Conclave. Alright, we need a Siege Rhinoceros. Siege Rhinoceros. We literally don't have lands to get left. We have no lands left to get with Windswept Heath. Every land that is not a fetch land is, or the mountain that we, got pathed for and somehow didn't get by doing whatever, is out of our deck. This is just like a race between Wild Nacatl and Soldiers as I draw every land in my deck. Pyromancer. I might just be dead to that young Pyromancer now. Maybe I needed to board in Volcanic Fallout because my opponent's going to kill me with tokens. This is hilarious. Oh my god. Yeah, we're basically gonna die now. Hey, right on time. You may actually be still around in time to potentially win the game. Maybe I shouldn't cast that before attacking with Wild Nacatl. Lightning Bolt. Alright. Well, we still have this Siege Rhinoceros who thankfully tramples. Oh god, Fate Stitcher. He's got the Icy. This is ridiculous. This is the most ridiculous game of Magic I may have ever played. And we're getting in. Alright, well we have to kill this. We have to kill this Fate Stitcher. We can't win by holding back because Fate Stitcher just kills us. So you are first. And then I guess I don't really care. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. You are left with 2 elementals. Okay. I mean, we're going to lose this game, I think. Almost certainly. We need to draw another Siege Rhinoceros. I didn't realize that Siege Rhino was going to be the all-star, because this is apparently a really grindy matchup that, is won by tokens. My. Alright, Serum Visions. Yep. I think my opponent has played every removal spell in his deck. I think that is. There were 3 pass, 3 bolts. I guess there's 2 more Is It Charms. My opponent only has 10 cards left. We could deck him. And only 6 minutes. So actually, if we draw, like, a creature. I need another Siege Rhino. My opponent has, like, what? Wear Tear? What other cards are still around? Ooh, a Curd Ape. Oh god. You are my savior. Gonna attack for 1 with Noble Hierarch. I guess I should attack for 1 first. There's 2 more Is It Charms in my opponent's deck. This is the silliest game. All I want to draw is Siege Rhino. Keeps me alive, and it makes my opponent more likely to be dead, and it tramples over the tokens. How many Fate Stitchers has he gone through? 1, 2, 3. So there's another. No, there's no more Fate Stitchers. So I guess he's like maybe debating whether he wants to like wear tear these. They don't really do anything. I guess the Fate Stitcher, the cage is actually doing something right now because of wear tear. because a Fate Stitcher's in the yard. So these two are actually potentially relevant if the game does get to the point that my opponent is able to wear tear and like force damage through, because these each equal 1 tap on a guy, and we're getting to like a very strange situation where that could be relevant in terms of just racing. So that I imagine it's a very good chance that that's what my opponent is currently in the tank about, is wear tear. Yeah, and there it is. So wear tear kills my things. Yep. Which is going to enable Fate Stitcher. And also give, did that trigger it twice? Were there only 2 in play? Yeah, so this is Fate Stitcher tapping my guy. All right, so I basically have to draw Siege right now. It just represents 1 damage. What? I don't understand why he's not tapping my guy. Because this means I kill a guy. I guess maybe he has Is It Charm and he's just going to kill my guy. Yeah. So we need a Siege Rhinoceros to gain life back. We don't have any way to actually clear the board here. Timely. Okay. That didn't do anything. You had the same amount of life. Oh, it gave you 1 guy. Sure. I guess I should have boarded in my Volcanic Fallouts. Little did I know. Siege Rhinoceros me. Lightning Helix. Alright, well, Lightning Helix, we can kill this guy. So he's not going to get more guys, at least. Brings him up to 9. So at least, like, survive another possible turn. He's Thought Scouring. Okay. So that's trying me, I imagine. Yeah. Oh, I hit my Revelry, which she doesn't have any targets for anyway, so I'm glad that's gone. Oh my god. Thought Scour again. Oh, there goes a Lightning Bolt and an Anafenza. Still no Siege Rhino. So he has 7 guys. Alright, well, I'm certainly not going to play and sack this Windswept Heath. And I suppose no real reason to attack. And he has a Fate Stitcher. He can attack me for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 if you include the Fate Stitcher, though I doubt he will attack with this turn. He has 6 cards left in his deck and 3.5 minutes on his clock, but he has 7 guys in play. I guess I could have just looked at this as opposed to counting the tokens individually. They have that little cheat for you. This is the most ridiculous game I've ever played. I don't know that yeah, this is just really silly. I'm not gonna block. Even if I play Siege Rhino, I think I'm dead. Yeah, I don't think there's a card I can draw at this point. Certainly didn't anticipate the games going like this, I'll tell you that much. How many creatures did I draw total? I guess, I mean, if you count Noble Hierarch. Well, I didn't draw this. I drew this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's my exile cards. 7, 8, 9. I drew 9 creatures in 40 cards of my deck. And look, right on time, a Loxodon Smiter. We're just dead. This is so stupid. All right, well, we lose. All right, well, yeah, gonna go and play some more in another match, another tournament, and hopefully we draw a couple of creatures in the next one.